Okay, we're getting started. Come on, man. Be surreal. Uh huh. Ooh. This guy had me recording for no reason. Crazy. Otra vida. Here we go. No. All right. Pito de coco. Oh. Bum, 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 bum. Dun, 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 dun. All right, we're here. Let's get on YouTube. Make sure we have the right thumbnail up because what happens is we end up putting some whack, like the way the thumbnail gets put up, whack. Got our non-alcoholic Guinness. Terrible news that Darren Lee is somehow involved in his girlfriend's murder. Life comes at you fast. All right, we're looking good. Yo, Zion, what's up, my brother? Listen, good to see you, bro. Very happy to see you, fam. Very happy to see you, bro. Wife is doing great. She obviously is continuing to grow that baby in there. So we're excited. We got a wedding to go to tomorrow, so we have a pretty fun weekend ahead. And of course, we're here hanging. So, how are you feeling, bro? How was your week? How's everything going since the last time we spoke? I hope everything has been going well, bro. I've been doing great. It's been a good week, man. I'm always interested. I'm always ready to. I'm always eager for the Super Bowl, man. It's one of the most fun weekends when you know the Super Bowl is about to take place. It's great. Mm-hmm. 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 Splash Moose, go Patriots. Hey, we got a Patriot fan in the house. How was your weekend, Splash? I'm sure there's Splash. You got to put me on, bro. You got to tell me, how does it feel to prepare for a Super Bowl? Now, Patriot fans, a lot of Patriot fans have lived in the Super Bowl. Fortunately enough, I mean, Boston is a champion city. They win a lot, and they're there a lot. How does it feel to prepare for a Super Bowl? You get 2 weeks, and the game is waiting for the game to take place. What is it like to prepare for a week of the Super Bowl? I'm very curious to know what that feeling is like, and I'd hope to enjoy and partake one day. Week is good, man. Kyle's life has been wild. Came to visit my mom for the weekend. Very good, Zion. Good to get back home and see mom. College life up and down. That's going to be par for the course. Zion, hype for the bowl. I am hyped for the Super Bowl. I will say, I'm really glad, even though I don't like the Patriots, for competition's sake, I'm really, really happy that we have the Patriots in there because it's a more competitive Super Bowl. To be honest, I'm probably not the person to ask because it happens so much. It's like it's supposed to happen here. Okay, so walk me through this then. All right, let's reframe the question. When was your first Super Bowl? What was it like to experience your first Patriots Super Bowl? How long have you been a fan? And how many Super Bowls have you watched the Patriots play in? I mean, it's got to be over under 5, right? I looked at the Super Bowl thing here. Since I've been a fan, since I've been a fan of the Jets since 2003, my first Super Bowl actually was Patriots Carolina. My first 2 Super Bowls I've ever watched were both Patriots Super Bowls. Reliant Stadium. So 38 and 39. 42. So that's 3. 46 was 4. 5. 6. 7. 8. All right, so it's 8. This is the 9th time I watched the Patriots in the Super Bowl in my lifetime. So the first Super Bowl I saw was Super Bowl 49, and I was just a kid, but the feeling was great seeing my team win the ball. Yeah, I can just imagine, bro. And a really crazy one at that. A crazy one at that. It's got to be, actually, it's the 9th Super Bowl because when you really count, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All right, yeah, I had it right. Man, you were just a kid. That's got to be fun. You know, I'm sure your parents and your family watched the previous Patriots Super Bowls when they maybe they lost in '96, they won in 2001, or 2002, whatever, and you get to see it. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. How'd you feel when you saw Malcolm Butler intercept that pass? I remember watching it and I felt like, oh, it's going to be so great watching the Patriots lose again. And Marshawn Lynch got tackled at the 1-yard line, and Dante Hightower actually made an insane play to stop that at the 1-yard line. That's why every play counts and play to the whistle, right? Never assume that it's over until it is. Because if Hightower doesn't make that tackle, he's scoring and he's in. And he actually made that play, and it changed everything. It changed everything. That's cool, bro. So, guys, where are you watching the Super Bowl? Zion, where are you watching it? Splash, where are you watching the Super Bowl? I felt sick the whole drive until Malcolm Butler saved the day. Oh, man. Man, what a thrilling, like, listen, sports is what it is. Patriot fans have it so good. And as a Jet fan, I envy it, obviously. But for that type of play to go down, your hairs have to stand, right? Your hairs have to stand. And then just 2 years later, you watch 28-3. Like just the fact that the Falcons were up and the Patriots stormed right back, and that ended up being the first Super Bowl to go to overtime. Am I ready for the man in the dress? Listen, I'm hoping that he's not. You know, I'm super hyped to see Bad Bunny in the halftime show. He represents Puerto Ricans. It's a monumental moment. I just don't, like, please, like, just don't. He doesn't have to. Keller, what's up, bro? Good to see you. Zion, a buddy's house to sweat the box squares. Oh, that sounds fun. I might kick it at the house. For the Super Bowl. I'm sure he's gonna bring a lot of guests. I'm curious to see how many guests Bad Bunny brings onto the stage. Like, who's he gonna bring? I know it's not Daddy Yankee. Daddy Yankee already said that he's not gonna do it. What are my thoughts on the NFL awards? I thought the awards were pretty fair and straightforward. Good question. We can segue into that segment. Oh yeah, Keller. He's a dog. I thought Stafford was the rightful MVP. He had a tremendous season. Tremendous season. I thought Matthew Stafford is a rightful MVP. The fact that it's his first MVP is pretty crazy. Got drafted in 2009. So for it to go this while is a long time. JSN, tremendous wide receiver. Well deserving. Myles Garrett, Defensive Player of the Year. Easily the best defensive player of our generation. Just the amount of how relentless he is, how many sacks he gets. He's a freak of nature. Tremendous. O'Roy. There was really no clear-cut candidate for O'Roy. Tet McMillan had a really good year. I didn't watch much Carson Schwarzenegger to really understand how he was. Coach of the Year, Mike Vrabel. You know what? No brainer. You know, if you're gonna take a 3-14 team, and the next year in the Super Bowl you put on a heck of a coaching job. Christian McCaffrey is Comeback Player of the Year. It's just another cap in his feather. Another cap in his feather for just how great of a career he's had. That's a really good award. Walter Payton, Man of the Year, Bobby Wagner. I thought that was pretty good too. I'm not sure exactly what he did, but I'm sure it's a prestigious award to have. Just be, good humanitarian and represent the league, represent yourself, Bell. And then Protector of the Year, Joe Thuney. It's pretty cool. Former Patriot. That's pretty good too. Now, Hall of Fame class, Drew Brees, Larry Fitzgerald, Adam Vinatieri, Roger Craig, Luke Kuechly. Now, you start feeling old when you see players that you watched retire and go to the Hall of Fame. I can't describe how it feels when it's a player that you literally watch get drafted, retire, and make the Hall of Fame. Like, I remember watching Larry Fitz's tape in college, and I was just amazed at the player that he was. Like, it was every jump ball was his, right? And then watching him butt into the star that he became, incredible. Vinatieri, I remember watching the tapes of him hitting the game-winning kick in Super Bowl, what was it, 36, 37? And 36. Against the Rams, and like that was cool. And then he did it again against the Panthers, and he was critical to that Patriots dynasty and making big kicks, and it's not easy to do. Now, Luke Kuechly, I remember grinding his tape in 2011. I think he got drafted, if I'm correct. Maybe. Let me see. Luke Kuechly, he's only 34 years old. He got drafted in 2012. 2012. I remember seeing the videos and the pictures of him in college. Where's that photo? Dude, the picture of him in college, he just had like his glasses on, and you could just, yo, absolute dog. It looks like he just dominates the class, hits the library, and then will knock your head sideways in the Oklahoma drill. And I remember watching him in college, and I was like, man, this guy is a special dude. You know what I'm saying? And he just became to the league, and he was just an incredibly smart linebacker. And of course, unfortunately, he had a lot of injuries. But think about that. He was defensive rookie of the year in 2012. Then he was defensive player of the year in 2013 and was a first team all-pro 5 times, 2013, 14, 15, 17, 18, and second team all-pro 16 and 19. That's dominance. People will say, oh, he wasn't better than Terrell Suggs. I'm not a voter, so I don't have an input on it. But some guys are just different types of dudes in college and in high school, different types of dudes in the pros. That type of dominance, you want a lot of all pros, big accolades, defensive player of the year. He was never going to win MVP. Crazy. Joss, what do you think about Dart's comment saying he didn't get a lot of offensive rookie of the year votes because writers hate us? I think it's kind of I understand as a competitor, he probably wanted to be considered. I think if he started the full season, he'd have had better recognition for that. And if he was healthy, because he also was out for a couple of games throughout the year. You got to be available, and you got to play a full body of work on the season. I don't think he should just be offensive rookie of the year because he's a quarterback, and he did pretty well at times. You got to have that line of consistency, and I think he's missing that. But as a competitor, people feel like they want to win the award. You know what I'm saying? So that was pretty interesting. You know, next year's Hall of Fame ballot, interested to see who's going to be next year. But Larry Fitzgerald being in that conversation, well deserving. Drew Brees. Listen, I remember watching Drew Brees play against the Jets in the wild card round of 2004, and he was obviously on the Chargers, and then he ended up hurting his shoulder the next year and had to go to New Orleans. It's crazy. So, off topic, who are you going for in the WBC? I always got love for Puerto Rico, but Team USA, I really want to see what Team USA can do this year. And Puerto Rico's team is not very good this year. I'm still gonna watch and cheer it on, but I think Team USA is where I'm putting my allegiance this year. And we're gonna get into that because the lineup was insane. You know what? We can actually try to segue into that. Why not? We talked a little football, talked a little Super Bowl with the Patriots fan, how it feels to prepare. We talked about Drew Brees. We talked about Jackson Dart. Listen, Team USA has such a awesome lineup and roster. Now, I did this last week, but now it's come out who they've got. Okay? Let's go around the diamond. Cal Raleigh. Backup is Will Smith. Bryce Harper. Apparently, Ernie Clement actually can play first base as utility. I know Schwarber can kind of rotate in there, but Harper will be the primary first baseman. Gunnar Henderson, second base. Bobby Witt, shortstop. Alex Bregman, third base. Corbin Carroll, left field. Buxton, center field. Judge, right field. With Schwarber in the DH. You got PCA. Oh, excuse me. Paul Goldschmidt is playing. Excuse me. Clement actually can play first base. Goldie's on the roster. That's pretty solid. You got Will Smith and you got Bryce Terang. A lot of depth, a lot of versatility on this team. I want to redo the lineup. You know, if we're gonna go with this starting lineup, I want to go with if we're gonna go with this lineup, I want to build a lineup based on this. But the pitching is awesome. Paul Skeens, Tariq Skubal, Logan Webb, Joe Ryan, Boyd. You can't ask for a better 5. A Skeen Schoolball 1-2 is insane. Webb is no slouch as a starter as well. That's awesome. David Bednar, Gavin Clevenger, Holmes, Jax, Keller, Kershaw, McLean, Mason Miller, Spire, Watcha, Whitlock. Like, you got a lot of good arms. Really good arms in the bullpen for this team. Let's build a lineup, okay? Let's do a Team USA lineup. Let's do it lineup to lineup, okay? Now, me personally, you could go Bobby Witt lead off. You could do a lot of things with this lineup. I'm going to put Corbin Carroll lead off. I really like a lefty with some speed that can get on base to be the leadoff. You know, especially if you're going up against a right-handed hitter. Now, 2, you very well could do Aaron Judge here on 2, but I like my power hitters slotted in the 3, right? So, second on this, but this, however, this lineup right now, you could probably put Aaron Judge on that. I do like my power lineups and my power guys in the 3, but let's put Aaron Judge. Okay? Now 3, who do I want behind him? You can put Bobby Witt. Or you could do a little table setting here. Honestly, I'm going to stick with my guns. I'm going to go with Bobby Witt right behind Corbin Carroll. That's a problem to deal with. Then I'm going to put Aaron Judge in the 3. I'm going to put Cal Raleigh behind Judge. So I have the switch hitting power catcher in the cleanup spot. And now 5, I can go with Buxton, Henderson, or Harper. I'm going to go Buxton, right? Six, I'm going Bryce Harper. Right? So I got the little switch. The only problem I have is that I have 2 righties on the 2 and the 3. But that's fine. Now 7, after Bryce Harper, Buxton, then Schwarber. You would put Harper down. After Cal Raleigh. I might put Kyle Schwarber or okay. Yeah, Harper's there. I'm still putting Bryce. I want Bryce Harper in the top 6. You could go with Gunnar Henderson, or I want to go righty here on the 7 slot. You can go Alex Bregman in the 7. You go with Kyle Schwarber. And then in the 9, you go Gunnar Henderson. A lot. That's what you could do as a lineup, potentially. You're going to have 2 righties and 2 lefties at some point. I don't think it's a perfect lineup to go lefty, righty, left, righty, left, righty. But you got the switch, and you got a guy there. You got a lot of speed and balance throughout the entire lineup and power. Corbin Carroll, you got speed. Cast some pop, but you got speed and running ability. Bobby Witt, jack of all trades. Judge can do everything. Pure power with Cal Raleigh. Then you could do Byron Buxton. Heck, you can always have Harper clean up and switch Raleigh around. You could. It's a great lineup. I'm very curious to see how they're going to format their lineups on this. But what would your lineup be? Right now, I got Corbin Carroll, Bobby Witt, Aaron Judge, Big Dumper, Byron Buxton, Bryce Harper, Bregman, Schwarber, and Gunnar Henderson. It's going to be great. I'm excited for this tournament. I really am. I'm excited for it. So much paper, so much potential. Paul Goldschmidt coming back is nice. $200 for a jersey is way too insane. Now, the jerseys came out pretty solid. Dominican Republic, solid. USA, not much has changed in that area. The whites are clean. The blues, pretty good. Colombia, smooth and clean. Puerto Rico, solid. Looks great. Japan always has this nice little, I don't know what you would call this, but the little pinstripes. Nothing much changed there. Venezuela. Great Britain, just bam, right there. It's just bland. Bam. Panama. You got Israel. Plain, bland, whatever. Cuba, always nice. Chinese Taipei or Taiwan. Who is this? Czech Republic, Chesco, Brazil. I didn't know there was a Brazilian team. Canada, solid. There's some ball players on Canada. I'm sure Freddie Freeman will play there. Mexico, Netherlands. I like the crown. That's fire. Korea, Italy, Nicaragua, and then Australia. But Team USA looking good. Judge looks good in the uniform. I'm ready for it to go, bro. And so these pools here, Puerto Rico, Cuba, Canada, Panama, Colombia. 6-4-3. I'm going to look at it in a second. Pool B, United States is going to smoke this pool. Mexico's going to be a big challenge, but the United States is going to smoke Pool B. And then you got Pool C. Japan is sweeping through that. You know that. Pool D, as tight as it could be. The Dutch always have a really solid team. Venezuela has a bunch of studs. Dominican Republic, of course, nothing like it. And then you got Israel and Nicaragua. They just kind of, they'll probably hang around a little bit. But the championship, March 17th, 2026. So I'm definitely going to look to see what I can stream. I would love to stream some USA and Mexico, or USA in general, between March 6th and 11th. We're going to see what we can do. It'll be a lot of fun. But, with my son on the way, who knows when he's going to arrive and when I'll be able to stream. So we'll see. Thanks, bro. Taiwan's World Baseball Classic. Lin Chen. Fairchild. That's cool. Wu, Chang, Chiang, Chang, Long, Giljaglaw. I don't know how to spell that. Pretty common theme there. Hey, it's a common name, right? It's like Rodriguez and Colon and Gonzalez. That's, I guess, Chin, Lin, Chen. It's a lot. It's a lot of them. Yeah, if you do a 6-4-3, you go Chang, Chiang, Chang. It's pretty cool. I do find it funny. Imagine a 6-4-3 double play. Somebody literally put it there. It's Taiwan, not Chinese Taipei. And they got, how many Chiangs do they have? Chang, Chang, Chen. Sang, Zhang. It's fire. Hey, imagine they come in and rake, though. Like, imagine they just come through and just start smacking the ball over the lot. Wouldn't shock me. That is funny. Keller, thank you for sending me that. Because that's fun. That's funny. Imagine a 6-4-3 double play. Now, anybody ready to get into Super Bowl talk? Uno, mañana otra. Here comes this cat. All right. Super Bowl 60 is finally here. The rematch of Super Bowl 49. Patriots and Seahawks. The Seahawks are currently 4.5-point favorites. I think the over-under last I saw was at 45.5 points. Seahawks are deserving to be of the favorite. Both of these teams deserve to be here. Okay, the Seahawks were arguably the best team in the NFC. They really had to go through the ringer, right? I mean, playing your division rivals in the playoffs, it's not an easy feat. This season, they played the Rams and the 49ers 6 times, beating the Rams twice. I picked the Rams to go to the Super Bowl. That NFC Championship game was a thriller. Man, they were close. They were close, but they made too many mistakes, special teams wise, and down the stretch, very difficult. But last time these teams played, we had obviously the Malcolm Butler interception, which was wild. Just insane watching it to unfold. I mean, they were literally 1 yard away from establishing themselves as an official dynasty. You know, to be a dynasty, you really have to win multiple Super Bowls. Like they survived. To be a dynasty, you have to win multiple Super Bowls. Just one is not enough to call yourself a dynasty. And the Seahawks were on the brink of being that dynasty. So I'm sure Seahawk fans are just salivating at the idea of getting a little revenge. I know it will never ease the pain of losing the Super Bowl in that fashion. But you get a chance to get a crack at the Patriots one more time. And I think the Seahawks have the defense and have the complete team to do it and get it done. This Seahawks defense is truly just a very violent, intimidating, and physical unit. They play together like a very strong knit unit that's been together for a while. Right? Mike McDonald's done such a great job building that squad. They're able to get to the passer with 4 guys on the line. They're able to put their linebackers in coverage. Their safeties are all over the place. They have some very physical tackling corners. I know Tariq Woolen had that taunting penalty that almost smoked them last week, in the NFC Championship game. But they were able to bounce back and hold it down when it mattered. And when you consider where the Patriots are offensively, Patriots have gone up against some really tough defenses and have gotten through them. They got through Houston, and they found a way to survive against Denver. Chargers and them, they were always going to beat the Chargers. The Chargers had no shot. But a lot of sacks they've given up. Drake May's been sacked about 15 times in the last 3 playoff games. Pass protection is going to be a concern, and the Seahawks are the worst team to have that type of concern with. And so I'm very curious to see how the Seahawks defense comes out, how the Patriots try to attack that defense. They do give up some plays, right? So they're going to need Stephon Diggs. They're going to need Trevion Henderson, Boutte, Douglas, and their tight ends. They're going to need those guys to really step through and find some spots in the zones to get open, because that Seahawks defense is going to come and bring it. And I think that front 7, that front 4 specifically, is going to be getting after Drake May. So Drake May's got to limit the mistakes and limit the turnovers. Now, on the flip side, Patriots defense has played tremendously well throughout this whole postseason. You could say, listen, C.J. Stroud crap in the bed. You can't control that. You know, Stidham playing against playing as a backup in the AFC Championship game. Can't do anything about that. New England has now gotten to this point. Give them the respect that they deserve. They can only beat the teams that they have in front of them. But Sam Darnold, obviously the storylines are going to be there. Seeing Ghost, his history against the Patriots, right? Sam Darnold at one point in his career is 0-4 against the Patriots in his whole career. And obviously the infamous Ghost game was on October 21st, 2019. I mean, a game to forget. 11 for 32, 86 yards and 4 interceptions. They really embarrassed him. And when he was on the Carolina Panthers, he had a chance to really exercise those demons and didn't do those well. But Sam is not the same quarterback from back then. You know, Sam is not afraid. He's never been afraid to make plays. He has all the intangibles. Wow. He can make that type of throw. He can make all the throws. But He's not afraid I don't think the mistakes affect him as much as they used to. You know, I don't know if the case would there be a case where he makes a mistake against the Patriots and it kind of starts reeling into his head like, oh snap, oh snap. Like it's again. I don't think it's gonna happen. I think he's so far removed from playing them when he was on the Jets and on the Panthers. I think Sam's gonna be ready to go. He obviously distributed the ball to all his receivers last week, had 7. And listen, they have JSN and they have a good run game and they got Cooper Kupp. So I know the Patriots are probably going to try to limit the impact that he can have. But listen, JSN's the best receiver in the world. Sam is playing out of his mind. And listen, he threw for 346 yards and 3 touchdowns last week. Almost had 127 rating. This is such a great, great moment for Sam Darnold to write a story that no one can take away from him. You know, we all love the sports stories, right? We love Miracle on Ice, you know, the 1980 American hockey team that beat the Russians. You know, we loved even 28-3, a great story. The LeBron James story, etc. When you have a situation like where Sam Darnold was at, where his career started where it did, with my Jets, going to the Panthers, getting hurt, going to the 49ers, going to the Vikings, finding that success, rebuilding his career. It's amazing. And now he's one game away from being called a Super Bowl quarterback, a Super Bowl winning quarterback. Now, the fact that both him and Drake May have made it here, Drake May being in his 2nd year, these are great accomplishments and they should never be laughed at or looked over. But both of these quarterbacks have a chance to etch themselves in NFL history. And for Sam Darnold, considering where his start was and where he is now, it'll be a great story. And nobody can take that away from him. All the talk about the ghost, I know the broadcast is going to bring it up. And it's going to be an LOL Jets moment, etc. And they're going to talk about his time. And Sam has always been a high character, classy guy about talking about his time with the Jets. He has a chance to eliminate all of that. All of that goes out the window. And even all the talk leading up to the game. Who's going to win here? Patriots, Seahawks. The Patriots are back. The Seahawks, can they get revenge? All that talking ends when the whistle blows and that first ball is kicked. And so I'm rooting for Sam Darnold. I really want to see him have this moment for himself in history. It takes a lot to get here, and there's no guarantee that you're going to get back. No guarantee. And so if Sam Darnold can go from the quarterback that was drafted by the Jets and was basically traded away and everyone discarded and everyone thought was done, he was able to transform his career, get back on track, get to a Super Bowl, and win it. I'm rooting for him. I really am. Now for Drake May, this is your 2nd year in the league. You know, he was 2nd place for MVP. Brady was not at this point in their careers. And no one's going to say he's a Brady. Brady is a different level of great at quarterback and in the Super Bowl. But for the Patriots and Drake May, this is your opportunity. Who knows if you get back? Dan Marino, everyone thought he was going to live in the Super Bowl when he got there in 84. He never made it back. To get back to the Super Bowl is a whole challenge in itself. And so that's the beauty of the Super Bowl and what culminates into this championship run. It's all the games and all the things that a team goes through in a year, culminating into one grand stage, the Super Bowl. And someone's going to go home heartbroken, but one team is remaining standing. One team will remain standing. And it's a long winter, and it's a long offseason to get back to that point. And how much has to go right for you to get back to that point. So as much as I don't want to see the Patriots win the Super Bowl, of course, I'm sure they're all thinking it. This is our chance to get it. Let's get it now. And so I think this is going to be an awesome game. I think this game is going to be very physical. I think the Seahawks defense is going to come out and do really, really well. They're going to get some sacks. They're going to get some pressure on Drake May. Can he limit the turnovers and limit the mistakes? Turnovers and mistakes in the Super Bowl are killers. Momentum breakers, momentum swinging. Can Sam Darnold limit the mistakes as well? If he does make a mistake, how does both quarterbacks bounce back? I think JSN's going to have a really good game. I'm pretty sure they're going to have Christian Gonzalez on him to shadow him. And maybe they'll try to bracket coverage. I can't wait to see how these teams come out and compete and attack each other. It's going to be high energy, physical football game. I don't think it's going to be high scoring. I think we're going to probably look at a 24-20, 24-21, 27-23, something in that range. And I'm looking forward to a classic. Listen, if you wanted a competitive Super Bowl, I know the Broncos feel like they deserve to be here, but the more competitive outcome was always going to be Seahawks-Patriots. So I can't wait to see how this matchup unfolds. Rooting for Sam Darnold, hoping for that story to that accomplishment, to be honest, in his cap. So I'm looking forward to it. Just got home, man. I got to eat something. Keller, I appreciate you being here, bro. Seriously. I was contemplating going live for the Super Bowl, but me and wife are going to be home together. Maybe it's not in our best interest to do that. We'll see. But appreciate you, bro. Get some rest. Get some food in your system for the gains, of course. And I'll see you later. Now, now I'm going to get into the Super Bowls and Super Bowl history. You know, I've been watching the Super Bowl since 2003. My first Super Bowl that I watched, unfortunately, was the Patriots beating the Carolina Panthers in what was a really cool shootout. And next year they beat the Eagles with Terrell Owens coming back with a broken leg and having the game of his life, and that game being fairly close. But man, there's so many. You want the Super Bowl to be a classic. You want it to be a close game, and you want it to be thrilling. And I think back on what I've watched, and there's some awesome Super Bowls that we were able to watch, and there have been some duds. Some duds that come to mind. Super Bowl 48, Broncos Seahawks. That game was over before it started. Last year, Eagles Chiefs. That game was over by halftime. We've had some games that were like okay, right? Like Steelers versus Seahawks in Super Bowl XL. But considering who's made the Hall of Fame, it's really cool to think back on who was in the Super Bowl in the recent history. And Larry Fitzgerald, it's like that run that he made, even though they didn't win, that sprint that he made in Super Bowl 43 was cool. And then you consider also James Harrison's pick six, right? So we'll look at all those things. I'll look at that next. Or it's incredible, bro. I just remember thinking like, man, like they really gonna do it.
2nd and 10. Warner has time. Fitzgerald into Steeler territory. 30, 20, 10. Arizona has the lead.
2 minutes and 37 seconds left. I just remember the highlight of seeing Larry Fitzgerald, his eyes wide open.
He hit him in the perfect place. That middle was
Kurt
wide
Warner
open.
was great.
As I said, those safeties were 20 yards deep, and you're going to see that big hole there. And once Larry Fitzgerald gets into that hole, look, the safeties are deep, and they're off looking for the wide receivers. And Larry Fitzgerald catches that ball and runs right through it.
You see his eyes get wide.
Read the defense, knew where he had to go, and he went to the perfect guy in the perfect situation.
And watches him.
And now he's in the Hall of Fame, bro. But the James Harrison pick six was something insane to watch too. Like Super Bowl 43 is up there for one of the best Super Bowls in recent history. In the last 20 years at least, if you want to go from LX to XL.
He's got Bolden and Fitzgerald to the left. He's got Breaston to the right.
I can't believe he actually made it all the way down there.
18 seconds.
Well, they can pick down here.
from the gun. Steelers show blitz. Here they come. He gets it away, and it's picked off at the goal line. There's a flag thrown on the run back, James Harrison.
I'm still astonished he got through all of that.
Harrison going down the sideline. Harrison still on his feet. Harrison is going to go all the way and waiting for the official to get there. Touchdown is signaled. A flag is down on the run back.
That was just an insane play. And then Santonio Holmes with the toe tap. And obviously he became a Jet. But just the amount of precision on this play, right? Like this whole drive, game-winning drive to win the Super Bowl and a toe tap catch like that. Just incredible. Right?
Side left.
What a spot he had to throw this in.
Throws to the back of the end zone.
Insane.
And it is caught for a touchdown by Holmes.
Insane.
Unbelievable.
Incredible. The official comes in. Let's just make sure he's in on a play like this. Obviously, they will take a long look upstairs.
Perfect ball. Perfect spot.
To the corner of the end zone.
Bam. Bam.
Doesn't get both feet down.
That was
left definitely.
insane.
Did the right
What an insane finish that was.
With control. You have to have control, both feet down.
To find that little nook in the corner of the end zone. The precision, the hands.
Yes, I say both feet in, both feet down.
There. And that's the whole issue right there.
It's right there. As clear as day. The Harrison touchdown, huh? I got to look at that again. That Harrison touchdown is still something to behold.
He's got Bolden from the gun.
First off, like the fact that he jumps the route like that.
Steelers show blitz. Here
smart.
they come.
It was going to be a touchdown. If he doesn't see this out on a pick play, he sees it already. By the time Warner throws it, he saw it. Bolden's catching that.
Here they come. He gets it away, and it's picked off at the goal line. There's a flag thrown on the run back, James Harrison, to run it back, and Harrison is
how he got through all this, it was just perfect. Couldn't do it without his blockers.
Harrison is going
Could not do it.
Go all the way and waiting for the official to get there.
This was a fun Super Bowl, bro. 43 was a very fun Super Bowl to watch unfold. 43. Obviously, Super Bowl 42. You know? When David Tyree catches that ball on his helmet. You know, and I think, honestly, in my opinion, Super Bowl 42 was the best Super Bowl I've ever seen. Just because when you consider what was at stake for New England. And I remember being in middle school, everybody was just like, you know, we're all Giant fans in the Bronx. Or I'm not a Giant fan, but you don't want to see the Patriots get undefeated, see history like this. But it's the Giants, and it's like you're rooting for the Giants to come through. And this was just a monumental game. You had to be there, bro.
Pressure from Thomas.
Everybody unified. How he got out of this? Miracle.
Stays on his feet. Airs it out down the field.
Insane.
It is caught by Tyree.
I remember rooting so hard for the Giants in this Super Bowl. Seriously.
Timeout taken.
Oh my God. This ball's thrown and Tyree just goes up for it like a basketball player. Harrison trying to knock it down. And Eli, man, I don't know how he got out of
getting out of that.
He was on the ground and then he came out of the pile and just slings it. That's a great catch.
Using your baby crib, Zion. The slow-mo just insane.
And now with 59 seconds left, the Giants needing a touchdown. The ball is at the New England 24.
What a great.
Pressing it against his
what a
helmet
great catch.
As he goes to the ground and not dropping it is David Tyree.
And then once you got to this point, you could just feel the Giants were right there. And legacy is made. Legacies are made in the Super Bowl. Eli.
Manning lobs it. Burris alone.
Insane.
Touchdown, New York.
My hair is still standing. I'm not even a Giant fan. Just a great call. Just a great call from Joe Buck.
Tyree. Manning lobs it. Burris alone. Touchdown, New York.
Insane. And Peyton is up there amped. And the fact that Peyton won his the year before that. Now, I know it wasn't a loss, but Devin Hester taking it to the house. Super Bowl 41. Devin Hester was him, bro. Him.
Here at Miami Dolphin Stadium, Super Bowl 41 about to commence.
Going into the game, we heard, obviously, you know, that's not get one.
Played at the 8 by Hester.
We tried to...
I don't want to hear a whole thing. I want to see it.
Welcome. This will be Super Bowls for them in the end.
I don't know why you want to kick it to him.
Postseason, but
don't
Devin
do it.
Hester, the rookie who was so dangerous.
Don't do
he
it.
went to college here at Miami. He led the NFC.
I always like seeing the cameras flash. Cool, man.
And the Colts have had a hard time all season covering kicks. It's Hester trying to work it back to the middle. Gets past the first wave, and here he goes.
Insane.
It's Hester inside the 30. Hester's going to take it all the way for a touchdown. And no flag, 92 yards.
That's what Shaheed's going to do? Listen, I hope so, Brandon. I hope so. Shaheed is that man, bro. Tracy Porter, the pick six. Insane. I mean, you talk about putting a whole city on your back,
in the
bro.
Shotgun puts Collie in motion. Looks in his direction. It's picked off. It's picked off. It's Tracy Porter again. He's running free. He's going to go all the way. Hand outstretched. It is a Saint touchdown. 70 yards on the return. 70 yards on the return by...
But obviously, the moment of that Super Bowl was the balls to do the onside kick to change the momentum of the game. Just incredible. Super Bowl 47, obviously, Jacoby Jones. I thought Super Bowl 49, obviously, the rematch. Just the fact that they got there, you know?
In Super Bowl 49, Russell Wilson, of course, he got picked off four times in the NFC title game. Always emotional, Bill Belichick. How about early on in the game, Brady looking and picked off by the president of the Rob Gronkowski fan club. That is Jeremy Lane in the end zone. It's a red zone turnover.
Manning did go up against Breeze. Yep, those are titans of the sports right there, my man.
The second quarter, we are tied at 7, and Brady, under 2 minutes to go. Me Rob Gronkowski, me kicks football, and me do Gronk spike.
Brady and Gronk, bro.
Patriots led the NFL with 66 points in the final.
Say what you want. Those Patriot uniforms with the Super Bowl logo on it were low-key fire.
2 minutes of the first half during regulation. They're up 7. But watch this. Russell Wilson. Oh, Jamie Collins, you're a great athlete. But what in the world happened? That is a first down, so they got time. And then how about this? Russell Wilson. Ricardo Lockett, plus we're going to ticks left. They're not going to kick the field goal with Chris Matthews. He caught his first NFL pass in this game. He also scored his first NFL
pass. He catches a Super Bowl touchdown. Only in the Super Bowl, bro.
Richard Sherman chuckling on the sideline, and the Patriots aren't laughing after this. Doug Baldwin nearly trips over his own feet.
Tight.
Scores the touchdown. Dion, that's your buddy scoring. However, he was flagged for unsportsmanlike conduct. But watch the pick by the ref.
Great pick by the referee.
The ref picked him.
Reeves did the best he can. That was a great route, though. You got to give Baldwin credit. And I don't like that right there what Richard Sherman done. I don't like it. He's too good for that.
Yep. Tommy, he did do a good job in climbing to take the real
Patriots, here they come again.
Fourth, Patriots down 10 against the best defense in the league, but Brady to Danny Amendola, and they are within 3.
Team is never dead,
Keep
bro.
in mind, no team had ever come back from a win. Edelman, the perfect
and Gronk got the better on that play right there.
Then Julian Gronkowski defense like this, but then Brady after a quick 3 and out. Rob Gronkowski
against them.
He moves
Legion of
I
Boom.
wanted to see that matchup. Cam Chancellor against Gronk, and Gronk got the better on that
crazy
play right
route.
there.
Then Julian Edelman, the perfect spin move for the touchdown.
That's my man right there, man. I love Julian Edelman, man. What
bad,
a gamer
bro.
he is to take over for Wes Welker and then win a Super Bowl before
A few weeks for him and his club.
When I saw this play, I was convinced the Seahawks were going to take it, bro. Convinced.
Would they watch a losing effort? Well, how about this? The circus catch. 7 years
In the same building that Tyree caught on his helmet, it's happening again.
after David Tyree did it to the Patriots in this very building. Jermaine Kearse does this, Michael Irvin.
And you just knew right here, wow, things are going Seattle's way, and all they have to do now is hand the football to the best running back in the National Football League.
Well, here they do. It's Marshawn
him making
Lynch
that
had
play.
another 100-yard effort, but he stopped just shy of the goal line, so the clock continues to run. Now 2nd and goal, Russell Wilson,
Nuts.
what are you doing? He gets picked off by the undrafted rookie free agent from Western Alabama,
Truly incredible.
Malcolm Butler, who preserves the victory. And the Patriots have their 4th ring, and it will leave everybody asking.
What an insane Super Bowl. Obviously, 51 was 45, was 28-3. Where is it? I had the bookmark here. Oh, man. 9 years ago yesterday. So 9 years ago on February 5th, 28-3 happened. Like, I remember seeing that they're just going to blow them out of the stadium. Brady's just relentless, bro. And James White had 1,000 touchdowns this game. Insane fumble. That's why fumbles are important in the Super Bowl. Changes the momentum. Touchdown. 2-point. Sacked again. Killed all the momentum. Insane. What a moment in Super Bowl history. Pure catch. Ties the game. This was insane. The call. Woo! I know my bro Tris, bro. I think about him all the time with his damn Patriots. Bro just has it so good. He's not even around, and he's not even in town, and he gets to see his team go to the Super Bowl again. It ain't right. Now, today also was 15 years ago, February 6th, when I put the ultimate hate watch on the Steelers, and they lost to Aaron Rodgers, even though it was bittersweet. I don't know if the Jets really won that Super Bowl, but watching Mendenhall fumble that ball, it's pretty damn sweet. Pretty damn sweet. You know what was pretty cool was the first overtime Super Bowl was 52 or 51, excuse me. We had gone so long without a Super Bowl in overtime. And it was just something to behold, bro. It really was. The 49er Chiefs Super Bowls were really good, obviously. You had the comebacks that they had. My 49er friends are very upset about that. I have a colleague of mine that loves his 49ers, and he can't talk about it. He can't. But those are some of my favorite Super Bowl moments, man. Like, the Giants winning the Super Bowl against them, even though it's not my team, that was something to behold, a part of history, man. And, like, all we can hope for is that tomorrow something memorable happens and someone's going to go home really sad, but we're going to have a good time watching it. Seriously. I can't wait. Let's see what happened in Super Bowl 55. Let's see. Chiefs Buccaneers. Brady won that one. 56 was Rams-Bengals, that was pretty tight in L.A. You had two teams win the Super Bowl in their own house. 57 against the Eagles. That was a little bit of a shootout. 58 in Las Vegas. That was a tight one. Very intense Super Bowl from end to end. And then last year was just a pure ass kicking, you know? And I just hope it's not the case tomorrow. Or excuse me, on Sunday. So we'll see what happens. Now, to get into the Jets, touch on Sam Darnold real quick. This is from Optimistic Jets, and Sam Darnold was talking about the toughest moment of his career.
Your story as a whole at this point is remarkable, man. 20-year-old kid getting drafted, right? Like huge expectations, traded, benched. Was there like adversity or a stage that was the toughest?
Getting
Facts,
traded to Carolina, that was a tough one for me. Just being brutally honest.
Me too, like, Sam.
Thinking, top 5 pick, I'm gonna, change the culture. Go out there and get control of the AFC.
It wasn't all his fault.
Go win playoff games. Like, that's always the vision, right? So when that doesn't work out, it's like, oh shoot, man, like that sucked. There's a million thoughts that go through your mind, like, oh, am I going to be a backup for the rest of my career? Thankfully, I got another opportunity in Minnesota to show the world and myself what I could do.
Man, I'm rooting for you, Sam. I really am. Now, in other news, my guy, Richie Melora, Jets Media, did some great job out there talking to Harrison Phillips of the Jets. And everyone wants to ask, why are the Jets always like this? My wife asked me this question. Why are the Jets always so bad? What is it about them? And everyone knows, well, it's just the Jets. It's the culture. It's not very good. But he got a really great answer from Harrison Phillips, who was a defensive tackle for the Jets, on what same old Jets and what the type of mentality the Jets have currently in the locker room and in the building. That, how is it changing, and how can fans believe that we're going to get in the right direction, and what does it really look like? So this is superb. Great job.
New York Jets defensive tackle Harrison Phillips. Harrison, I want to get your thoughts about Aaron Glenn, and what would you say to Jets fans on why we should believe in the vision and the culture that he's building here with the New York Jets?
Yeah, I haven't played for forever, but I've played for a handful of years now and understand that somehow, some way, culture matters.
Yes, it
and
does.
You can't put 5 wins, 10 wins, 3 wins, whatever it is, that doing it with people that you care about, it helps correlate to winning games. And so if I had a connected football team, I would take that over a talented football team that wasn't connected.
2024 Jets.
I think AG inherited a very cancerous, truculent group.
Cancerous and truculent.
Top to bottom. And it almost wasn't, it's not individual people's fault. I was there for one season. It was a very difficult season. And I almost wanted to waver on some of my thoughts and my beliefs and my optimism. And so I can't imagine being...
That's really insightful, the fact that he was honest to say even he felt susceptible to that temptation to give in and waver, right? Sports is about endurance, seeing things through the end, playing to the last whistle, etc. And losing has an impact on players, right? And that's why we talk about winning is important. Even if it seems not meaningful, winning does matter. You have to make sure you keep the integrity of the locker room intact.
There for year after year after year after year and not seeing the results that you wanted, and it tainted people because my coach is going to get fired, my teammate's going to get fired, I'm going to be a free agent, I might get fired, I got to play for me, I got to make sure that my tape's hot regardless of what the system is asking me to do or the scheme's telling me to do. And then young players come in and see, oh, that's my vet, and that's how they're acting, so I'm going to act like that too. And so it's a long chain of things, and it can't be fixed like that. I think AG's mindset of any coach I've been around to deal what we had to deal with this season, to be as consistent as he was to us through that whole thing, was super cool to see. And I think that consistency, and as well as making the jump from year 1 to year 2 as a head football coach, more of his people in the building, more of his thumbprint on the culture, I think we have to win more games.
Well, Harrison, I appreciate you coming on. This is Harrison Phillips, defensive tackle, the New York Jets. Appreciate you.
This was superb. It takes time, And when you have a team like the Jets, you really, really gotta get the muck and cut it all open and rip it to the studs and get all that nastiness that's in that team. The rot that's on this team has run so deep. And it's not just Salah's fault. I saw some comments saying, oh, this is what Salah did to the Jets. This has been going on for a while, guys. I know the Jets had their little flash in the pan moment in 22 and they were hype in 23. But the mentality of the building of this, something's going to go against us at some point, festers within the culture of the team. And what you need fresh players that have no relationship or no experience of what it's like to be a Jet. They're only playing football. They're here to win games, and we're here to do what we got to do. And you have someone like Aaron Glenn, which is why I liked him as a coach. He understands that same exact mentality that the Jets have. That same old Jets, that cancerous, truculent description that he just gave, he knows that very well. He's lived it as a player. Frank Reich lived it as a player now that he's on the team as our offensive coordinator. And so it's going to take time for him to not only try to course correct, but he has to set the example of what consistency looks like. And I'm glad that he pointed out that Glenn has been consistent throughout the entire season. And as a leader, whether you're in your workplace, you have to stay the same. The standard, you set it, and you have to keep it. And eventually, you have to get people, whether it's people that work for you, etc., to buy into that. Maybe it's another colleague that can buy into your vision and execute on it. And leadership, sports, organizations, they have similar principles, just different actions that we're taking. Whether you're working in fast food, working in this place, or playing a football game, the fundamentals of culture and the fundamentals of what it takes to succeed as a team still apply. So this was awesome insight. And I'm still a believer of Aaron Glenn, obviously. I want to see this team come through. I said earlier, a couple of weeks ago, this was in mid-January, let's give it 90 days. 90 days. In 90 days, and less than that, it's probably about 75, 80 days, the Jets, we are going to see what type of team we have. I want to see Glenn see it through, honestly, Zion. I know some fans are getting ahead of themselves talking about, oh, well, it's going to be kaput. It's not going to work out anyway, and we're going to get Tomlin. We still have free agency. We still have the draft. We still have camp. We still have preseason, and we have the season to really evaluate where the Jets are and is there tangible progress from where we were last year and where we are now to the end. And I really want to see that come through. It's going to take time. But once things are set in place and you have coaches, you have some players that are bought into what you want to do, right? That buy into what Aaron Glenn is selling. When you get to more often than not, the results will come through. And so I want to see them come through. I want to see it happen, right? They still got to play the games and nothing's guaranteed. But it can change when you have guys aligned on the same vision and same goal, and you have, obviously, talent. We need more talent on this team, and I'm excited to see what we can do. So let's see, man. I'm interested in seeing how this plays out. Rooting for Aaron Glenn. I get you, but the thing the Giants and Jets have in common is front office is so Nepo-based and stupid. I agree with your take, but Jets may also benefit from a coach like Tom, reporting to possibly, but I don't know what type of budget and structure the Jets have to put that in place. Right now, it's Aaron Glenn's show. Darren Muji's obviously in charge. The results were tough in the first year, but I'm willing to see, as you can see, the players seem to acknowledge and respect what AG's doing. And all we need is more players to buy into that mentality. We need players that draft and love football and want to get going and get this turned around. And I think it will. Hopeful. Never sure that it's actually going to happen, but hopeful. So those are great comments. Great job by you, Richie. A lot of Jet content creators getting a lot of good bits and interviews out there on Radio Row. So we appreciate everybody's work out there to get us clips and keep us hopeful. So we'll see what happens. But I want to do a victory lap for Aaron Glenn if this thing can work out. It's no guarantee, but I really want to. So, anywho, I think this is good. About an hour and 10 minutes. If I'm going live, I will post it on my story. If I'm going live Sunday. I don't think I am, but if I am, you guys will know. Anywho, I hope everyone has a great time this weekend, a great Super Bowl. Hope you have a good time watching the halftime show. Listen, this is the time for everybody to come together and enjoy sports and enjoy something. It's entertainment, right? It doesn't have to be this deep. Unfortunately, for some, it is. But just spend time with people, spend time with your loved ones, friends, have some wings, sliders, burgers, chips, some nice cold drinks, and have a good time. Just enjoy for what it is. We spend way too much time aware of what's going on around the world. And sometimes absorbing everything going on in the world only makes you crazier. So don't. Let's have a good time. Let's just try to enjoy life, man. Super Bowl 60. Hope it's a good one. Go Hawks. Time to get to content cutting. Got some work to do.